Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Regardless of the market here, wow, Avax, $24. It's on sale. Just kidding. Not a good price. Probably going to go lower just based on how terrible the market is. If you take a look here, Bitcoin dominance still on the rise. That is effectively causing a lot of problems, you could say. Keep in mind, this is more like the effect, not the cause, but it is still something that's relevant to understand, an easy way to conceptualize how terrible the market's doing. If you're not familiar too, just kind of throwing it out there, the main reason for this is just traditional markets. $3 trillion gone in the traditional markets in just a matter of minutes. So it's not a very good situation right now. So just keep that in mind, okay? Again, this has nothing to do with the coin itself. It's more so just a macro perspective of just how terrible the market can be, and just a few things to be mindful of, I guess you could say. Because when you are trading, you can't just be blindly looking at the charts, but on the same accord, you don't want to, fool yourself with too much fundamentals either, because that can sway things as well. So either way, quick little heads up. Thanks again for the awesome feedback and amazing results here. 43%, 44, I guess, on an AVAX short we took earlier in the week. ICP, good 36%, 39% for two trades we had open. Solana and BNB as well for some nice healthy profits to the downside. So our community is making some good money this week here. Definitely a good little situation. While it sucks the market's going down, it's nice to make some money in regard to that, and have some dry powder left too, because there's been a lot of trades we've been wanting to take. Like, for example, I would have loved to have shorted this $26 mark, but that point of control was never even retested. The price just continued lower. So again, a lot of little things to kind of be aware of. Okay, let's quickly look at AVAX and go on. Oh, before I forget, whatever, hit the like button down below. Greatly appreciate that. Help get this in front of more people so they can stop getting destroyed by these other moon boys. Okay, again, I'm anti-moon boy. I hope you understand. All right, so quickly to note, $23, $23.30, no, $23.10, right in that range of $23.10 to $23.40. We can see a heavy amount of liquidation here, about 200 million for AVAX. That's roughly the last amount of liquidation on the downside we have to worry about. So good news is we're getting closer to our bottom. Bad news is I don't think we've hit our bottom yet, right? So that's kind of where we're at there. Liquidation just kind of tells us, generally speaking, whether there's just a little bit left to the downside. You wouldn't think there would be. I mean, $21, $22 seems like it's a crazy thought process considering we had 33 and not so long ago. I mean, take a look at this here. 28% drop in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So again, sorry for anyone who didn't sell, but let's see if it's worth taking along or what the case is right now. Moving averages, terrible. There's no reason to take a trade based on that sentiment alone. From a macro perspective, when you're under moving averages, you're going to be working against resistance, against the grain. Same thing here, we're under 50 on the RSI, MACD diverging, money flow index pulling back. The only consolation we have, and you never trade on consolation, is the stochastic RSI starting to bottom out. That's just because it can't go any lower. It doesn't imply that it's like gaining momentum to the upside. Okay, so those are all just terrible reasons to take along. We can take a look here as well on the 4 hour. Same thing here. We got this descending trend line I just drew out just before I started recording. It runs concurrently with the 50-day SMA. You'll notice that trend lines, descending or ascending, commonly run concurrent with the 50 and the 20. So it's important to be above them before you can take a trade with confidence. Okay. The more important thing here is absolutely, at the very least, be above the 20-day SMA on the 4 hour before you take a long position. Okay. I'd prefer the 50 though, just because it's a better moving average, more consistent. So that's why I draw trend lines out like that. I'll clean up the charts, post that on our post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. And if you're part of our community too, just know you want to make sure to enable all channels. Right click on browse channels and hit show all, because we have this trade alerts channel that I'm getting a lot of good feedback from, basically just giving you indications of coins that I'm planning to take trades with. This is like a kind of like giving you a little heads up on a signal I'm going to be sending. So these turn into these. Basically, that's how that works. So make sure you enable that if you haven't already, and that's all part of our premium group. So what I want to talk about here on the 4 hour time frame is to reflect here just on the RSI being super low. When it gets right there at 30, it's commonly a good bouncing point. So the truth is we could see a little bit of a relief rally here, but it's not really all that ideal because Bitcoin is still struggling. If Bitcoin pulls back to just say 60,000 to fill its CME gap, what do you think AVAX is going to do? It's going to belly flop. It's going to fall super hard. It's one of the more rejected coins here today, the coins that fell off the hardest. What we got Solana, Avax, and I think there was, what is it? Yeah, Render took a nosedive. I mean, most of them did, don't get me wrong, but we came closer to 10 to 15% on that correction. So that's just too much. That's not good. Not good at all. So all that being said, there's nothing positive here. Stochastic swinging down, MACD's diverging still. A whole lot of nothing, okay? Ichimoku Cloud, hourly. Here's something I use for confirmation. And what we need to be able to see first before we can confirm a long position is to get the price action at the very least in the 25.50, 25.60 mark. I would recommend waiting until $26 is broken, because that would put us over some important moving averages on the 4 hour. That would get us above this resistance shelf based on volume, which is that point of control here. That's why we have a red, kind of a red box or rectangle here, just kind of helps signify that point of control. Now that we're below it, we can presume it's going to work as a resistance, okay? It was previously going to be a support level for us. Because if you look at this here, larger time frames, you can see there's a strong amount of volume right in this range. And now that we're below it, we can presume it'll continue. So it's going to take a lot to get back to 26 or higher, just a heads up on that. So I'm sorry if you're in a long and you're kind of upside down, it might be best to cut your losses. It's hard to want to cut your losses when you feel like the bottom is in. I don't feel like the bottom is in personally. I just feel like we're getting close to this overextended state, and a slight relief rally would make sense. We may see a little bit of green this weekend because of that. Keep in mind, if Bitcoin can stay where it's at in the 63 to 64K range, we probably will see Bitcoin dominance pull back a little bit and some alts start to rally, but it's not going to be a big one, folks. It's going to be pretty small. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, careful buying dips right now unless it's a spot bag. If you're buying dips with high leverage, you're kind of being stupid. I don't know how else to say it. It's just dumb. And I only say it that way transparently to kind of maybe help get you off the ledge. If you are watching these other moon boys telling you to take longs on XYZ corner, or they're posting how awesome they are with their significantly high leverage trades, that's ridiculous. These trades, by the way, folks, are all 5x leverage. That's it. It's easy, right? It's easy because you don't have to feel like you're super stressed as soon as you take the trade like you're going to get liquidated. And it's easy in the sense that these are all trades taken with confirmation, and that's what you should be doing too. Anyways, that's why we look at this. There's no confirmation for long. Every confirmation to consider more so a short. If you were to consider a short, the price pulls back to this 25 to 25.75 range. That would be a solid consideration for a short. Okay, and I know it feels weird to short at this level, but now that we've lost this point of control, this massive amount of volume, that's going to work against you. Okay, we are on the wrong side of the tracks right now. There's no other way around it. All right, folks, thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something today. If you do want some extra bonus cash, be sure to use my link down below for Bitunix. Awesome rewards for deposit bonus there. No KYC or VPN. We've been using them for over a year, and they've been a phenomenal exchange to us. Thank you again, Bitunix, for providing some really good features for our members. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.